Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video of the Skyrim playthrough. It's not it's not really a playthrough, more or less. I'm just playing it while I talk. While we climbed up this god-forsaken mountain, I gotta talk about the Max Crosby trade. Um, and I was thinking about it last time I recorded. Actually, while I was editing. It's funny that I'm playing, respectfully, a nerdy game that I have too many hours in. I'm playing a nerdy game talking about sports, two completely different things, but that's just how my personality is. I am a fan of a lot of nerdy things. I'm a fan of a lot of sports. Max Crosby was traded from, well, what technically was traded, then wasn't traded in quite possibly the dumbest reason ever. So, Max Crosby was traded to the Ravens, obviously by the Raiders, to the Ravens for I believe it was 2 first-round picks. I may be wrong. While I'm editing this, I will throw up. Oh my god. Oh my. Okay, back up to the spot where I died. We do Berserker's Rage. And then we beat the brakes off of, bro. I was about to pop off there. But I found a post for it. Max, this trade fell through. I'll go over that after, but to put into perspective, Max Crosby to the Ravens for 2 first rounds, a 2026 first round pick, which was our 14th pick, and a 2027 first round pick, um, which I think was I'm not well versed in football trades, but normally it's like you kind of just go for what you need. Um, not that well versed. I'm more of a players. Whenever I do a Madden rebuild, trades are the worst part about my rebuilds. I kind of just let people go off in free agency. Not a great idea, but I've built a couple Super Bowl winning teams in Madden. Um, my thoughts on it, on the trade falling through, is it's really just a bad thing for the Ravens. I think they also got Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is solid. That's the most I can say. He's not as good as Max Crosby, nowhere close actually. Yeah, I think it's just a bad trade for, or I think it's a bad situation for the Ravens really to be in because I have a feeling, I'm not 100% sure. I think Raiders head office and whatnot said that they disclosed the injury, that Max Crosby was working through an injury and he was like going through it really well. The Ravens say they failed his physical, which, yeah, if you fail a physical, yes. But also, if the team tells you the guy is injured currently, you still make a trade for him and then you back out of the trade. That's not a good thing. And other teams will know it, will know if the Ravens did back out, because I guarantee you the Raiders probably went to a bunch of other teams, called up a bunch of head offices and said, "Hey, we're willing to trade away Max Crosby." I think the Ravens just shoot themselves in the foot. Ravens do get better, not better than they would be with Max Crosby. Who knows? They might draft a monster in the draft. Those are my thoughts on the Max Crosby almost trade. Yeah. I think the Raiders are an actual good team. They got Clint Kubiak. Yeah, probably butchered bro's last name. Um, who just won a Super Bowl as an assistant. I think he's going to be a great coach for the Raiders. And the Raiders went out, signed a bunch of players. I brought it up in my last video, but Bill signing DJ Moore. Or not signing, trading for DJ Moore. Chill, I like DJ Moore. That's pretty cool. I don't really have much to say. I think the Bills still need a lot of work. They also signed Bradley Chubb, who was once upon a time cracked. Still decent, just not insane. So I don't really know how to look at it. I'm just going to wait and see next season. Assume that they're going to lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Speaking about the Chiefs, I don't think I brought this up in my last video. Well, I also covered the DJ Moore thing like really quickly. Just yapping. This is more of a deep dive, I guess. But yeah, signed Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Kenneth Walker shouldn't have been Super Bowl MVP, respectfully. But they actually have a good running back now. So what we do here, we will take the carriage to Morthal. And with the Crosby trade falling out, Joe Burrow might survive a couple more years. So that's good. Well, after that, the football conversation we had, I'm going to switch right to nerdy shit. I started watching the One Piece live action, season 2. I'm only one episode in. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's not as good as the anime. I will not say it's better than the anime because it's not. It is good. Like I can see, I find it cool because they have a lot of um, call forwards, I guess, because like they show Brooke later on, like earlier in the story than what you see him in the anime. Brooke's my boy, my favorite character in the Straw Hats. Um, it is kind of cringy, but like I think that's kind of the point. I can't wait to see Chopper. A lot of people are complaining about Chopper's design. Um, like in the live action, even though in the anime he's supposed to look creepy. It's like people complaining that like Shanks isn't like a heartthrob in the anime. He just looks like a normal dude. Guess what? Shanks is supposed to look like a normal dude in the anime. They just made him look badass. That's like the entire point. Like Ichiro Oda is basically like, I guess, like showing everybody what these characters are supposed to look like because their designs are so um like recognizable, and I'm happy they are doing like a terrific job with how characters look in the live action compared to the anime. I love it. I love the designs, how they're keeping the same goofy designs from the anime and the manga. That's the one thing I was worried about. I was worried that these characters like wouldn't translate very well. And trust me, like from an outside perspective, it is just kind of odd to see like the characters the way that they are. Um, I'll just throw a couple characters up on the screen while I'm editing, and you'll just be able to see. Like I think it's good the way that they did it. It's just like it is kind of goofy in a live action. Also, the way like in the anime, like Luffy screams out to the world, and it's like less awkward than it is in the live action. Um, just because it's a real person, and like it's just odd seeing that. But it's like the Dora live action. They made a joke about that in the movie, which I found very funny. I also didn't watch the movie. I only saw that clip just before. Someone's like, "Wow, you actually watched that movie?" No, I didn't watch it. Heavens, no, I didn't watch that. But yeah, the live action is pretty solid. Like if you're a One Piece fan and you have common sense to be like, "Huh, yeah, these are what the characters are supposed to be designed like." Yes, that's how the show is. It's not as good as the anime. It will never be as good as the anime. Um, but it's cool seeing characters like you see Sabo really early. Sorry for spoilers. You see Sabo earlier in the story than you do. You see Garp earlier in the story than you do. You see, like, you actually get more conversation with Gold Roger. You get to see Brooke. You get to see um, Bartolomeo. You get to see all these characters that the actual anime fans will be like, wow, yeah, they were there in the story. They were technically there, but now we actually get to see them because they already know what's happening, already happened in the story. They couldn't do that in the anime because they didn't know what was going to be in the story. But yeah, I'll throw up the photos that I'm talking about because I do genuinely think like if you're a fan of One Piece, you'll like the live action. If you have a working brain and realize like I see just a lot of people being like, "Oh, this character doesn't look like this character." I'm not gonna just go out and call everybody racist for saying like, "Oh, like Vivi doesn't look like that in the anime." Vivi is based off of like Alabasta is a desert kingdom, and the Nefertari family is like supposed to be like a Middle Eastern looking people. Um, and like you can even like look it up. Oda has said, the author of One Piece, Oda, has said where the Straw Hats like would be from in real life, and people just like tone that out. And like some people will be like, "Oh, but they didn't actually do this for this character. They didn't do that for this character." The guy who plays Luffy in the live action, I'm blanking on his name. I apologize. Um, he is like Oda has said Luffy would be Brazilian. I believe the guy who plays Luffy is Mexican, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Um, but everybody's like, "Oh, but they aren't like doing it accurate to like what Luffy would be." The guy plays Luffy perfectly. I don't want to be rude, but it's close enough. It's like, but if you can get an actress that likes One Piece, but it's also Oda. Like Oda can do what he wants. He's the one who's like picking all these casts. I don't know. It's just kind of stupid to think that the live action, also in like an actual TV show sense, live action is kind of just an odd show. Like it's a fun watch. It's an odd show, but like you can tell it's the One Piece story. It's just an odd depiction of it. So it's already it's a worse version because I like the anime and I like the manga. So I'm obviously going to say it's a worse version. I'm not saying it's a worse version because of the people in it. Nah, it's a worse version because it's live action. It's a worse version because it's odd. It's just odd to watch. But that's my take on it. And everybody can have their own opinions. That's the beauty about picking and choosing what television shows you watch. If someone doesn't like One Piece, they're just not going to watch either. If you like One Piece, I do recommend watching the live action because it's just a fun watch. It's worse than the anime. Don't expect it to be better because it's just not ever going to be. But it's a fun depiction of it, and it adds more lore to it. Like it definitely confirms the dragon, Luffy's dad, has a devil fruit that controls the weather because it shows it a lot better in the live action. Also, um, I was thinking about it when I watched it at first. I was like, "Oh, when they show if Dragon isn't like, well, for example, Garp, Luffy's grandpa, in the show, is played by a white dude. Luffy is like a supposed to be a Brazilian dude. So I was like, this was just a in the moment thought. I realized after Garp could have Luffy's grandma can be a Brazilian person too. I didn't really think about that at the time, and then I thought about it like the day after. I was like, I'm stupid. But Dragon is also, I think he's played by like an Ecuadorian actor, or like I think he's from Ecuador. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I apologize. I don't know if that's like if Ecuador and um another place has a rivalry. I apologize. I am not. I'm good at GeoGuessr. I am not good at knowing where people are from. Only unless you're an athlete, and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's from there. Um, but yeah, Dragon is played by like an Ecuador, played by a Latino guy. Um, so my mind went right to, oh, Dragon. It's also kind of confirmed that Dragon isn't Garp's son because that's a theory going on. But then my brain put two and two together. Garp could have like Garp's wife could have been a Latino person. Um, Anywho, that's just a little rant that I had because I thought about it and I was like, wow, I'm so stupid. That's my take on the One Piece live action. I'm gonna just leave it there. Oh my, these guys caused me trouble in the Legendary run, which I will be making a video on. Ooh, I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead. Almost died there. I'm gonna put more into health and heavy armor. I could just upgrade my two-handed. Yeah. What the? What the? I do love this armor, and I think it's heavy armor. It is. Ooh. Well, the helmet is, at least. Bro sniping me. Like, bruh. There we go. Did I already pick up the note? The... Oh, I did. Okay. Travel to Soulstone. I will all do that. The way I like to play Skyrim in the DLCs is I always beat the vampire dude, always forget his name. And I beat Mirak before I beat Alduin because I think Alduin is should be the final boss. Just makes sense to me. So in this playthrough, I will beat beat Alduin first in this playthrough. My plan is, and the way that I'm gonna do this is, I'm gonna beat the main, or I'm gonna first beat the companion story, and then I will choose between the Stormcloaks. Whoops. I will choose between the Stormcloaks and the Imperial Army. I'm gonna choose the Imperials. Then I will beat the main game. I will beat Alduin, and then I will do Mirak, then the Vampire Bloke. Can we move, please? God. And for the people who already know the story, I will not be killing Parthenax. If someone kills Parthenax, they are a, how do I put this kindly? Low IQ individual. The kindest way I can put it. If you kill Parthenax, you might be on the spectrum. Well, guys, I'm gonna end the video there. Next video, we are gonna kill the dragon with Delphine. Then we will start the companion's quest, which is an alright quest. After the companions, we will choose between the Stormcloaks and the Imperials. I will most likely choose the Imperials. With that in mind, I'm gonna, again, I'll end the video here. And if you guys enjoyed, I was about to say leave a like. I don't like that shit. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. And peace.